this tutorial, we are going to look at organizing and adding pages in your menu, how to publish changes, and how to get it ready for our next step. So the first thing we're going to do is get back into the menu. So we were in there a few minutes ago when we were organizing this template that we added in, but I want to show you a few more things with it. So I'm going to go back in and hover back in this corner until the lock shows up. Then I'm going to unlock it again by clicking on it. And then as I come in here, I'm going to click on Edit again. And this again brings up my all the listing of all my pages that are in my portfolio. So just a couple of things I wanted to show you. We already talked about how to change the URL, and we talked about how to create a subpage. I wanted to just show you what it looks like when I add a new page in here. And keep in mind that when I add a new page, it is completely untemplated, so it's going to be a completely blank page if I'm going to add one in. And honestly, there probably aren't a whole lot of reasons why you would need to add a blank page, but I will just show this to you in case you decide you want to break your material up even more. So just to add a new page, just come down here and click on Add New Page. You can see that it brings it right down to the bottom here. And let's pretend that I wanted to put a CV in, or my resume in. Then I can go ahead and click on that, and maybe I actually want to have my CV, again just hypothetically here, as a subpage of my other documents. So I'm just going to drag that right up and then indent it underneath my institutional documents. Keep in mind that sometimes once you've indented something, it has a hard time unindenting. So sometimes I have to drag it up above it and then just drag it below it again to get rid of that indentation. And to show you how this looks then, if I decided that I wanted to delete it, I would come in here and click on the trash can. It automatically takes it out, but it hasn't totally deleted it until I confirm it. So let's say I've made all the changes that I needed to at this point and I'm ready to go. I can go ahead and click on Save. And now my changes are being saved. And you'll notice that that CV is gone. So I'm going to go back and lock this back up. Okay, so that's how you would add and organize your pages in the menu. One more thing I want to show you in this tutorial is how to publish your changes. So just like we remind our students that we can't see their work if they haven't published it, it's the same for you with your professional portfolio. You can do all the work in the world on here and you can have your settings correct, but if you haven't published your work, there's no way your reviewers are going to be able to see it. So there are a couple different ways you can publish your content, publish your changes. The easiest way, I think, is if I'm working on a page and I look at the page and there's a yellow strip up here with a little blue button that says Publish Changes. That's letting me know that I've made some change on my page at some point that hasn't been published. So I can just go ahead and click on that button. The first time I do this, it's going to have me confirm my settings. So it has my portfolio title, my URL. This shows me the privacy setting that it's on right now. So I'm going to keep it on private within the college, but again, if you want to change that, you can. And then I don't have a password set for it, and it's not showing in a directory. So I'm okay with that, and I'm going to go ahead and just save my settings and publish. And sometimes this takes a few minutes, but you'll notice that that little strip went away as well as the blue Publish button. So that means that this page is published. If at any point I want to take a look and see what my published version looks like, I can do that by going up to the right corner. Sorry, I'm going to minimize that. Going to this right corner where it says Published View. And if I toggle over to that, clicking on the button there, this will show me what my published version looks like. You'll notice that none of the other pages are showing up here right now because I have not published any of my other pages. In order to keep working on this, I need to go back and take it into the edit mode once again, and you'll notice that these pages show up once again. Another way that you can publish changes on your pages is to go up and use this little sandwich menu in your very top right corner. It's the one with the 3 little lines and the arrow. If I click on this, again, we've talked about the settings already, but we have some different options for publishing. If I click on Publish this page, it will publish just the content on the current page I'm on. If I click Publish Pages, plural, it pulls up a list of all of my pages. If it has a white checkbox, it means it's already been published. If it has a green checkbox next to it, it means it has not been published, but when I click the publish button, those pages will be published. The draft marking on the side shows me that it's still in draft form. So at this point, I can either go ahead and say, yes, I want to publish all of those pages, and this is actually a good practice as you're getting ready to submit your portfolio for review to just go in and make sure they're all published. So you don't actually, in reality, have to publish anything until you're just going to submit it. So you could save this to the last minute, but just don't forget to do it. The other thing you could do at this point is say, okay, everything seems to be ready, but I'm not sure I want to have my institutional documents published quite yet. So you can uncheck whatever you do not want to have published at the moment, and then click publish, and everything else here will be published. So we'll go ahead and do this. And you'll notice that, that those pages now, when I go to published view, my institutional documents is not published, and my service over here is also not published. So that is how you publish your pages.